Hi guys, Peter again. I did a live presentation the other day and quite honestly it wasn't very good. The beginning was awful, I couldn't see myself in the camera so I didn't even know if it was recording. So I'd like to do it again, but this time make it a bit more colourful perhaps so that hopefully it appeals to more people. What I'd like to talk about today is 8 super hacks to improve your course offer and increase your fees. For many of you, this could double your fees quite quickly. Okay? When you're talking to a new parent, don't just talk about your experience and don't just talk about the course. Hi, I'm Peter. I've been teaching ESL for 35 years. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. This is what I'm going to do for your child. Well, no, not really. That's standard. That's what they expect you to do. And quite honestly, the parents aren't interested in how long I've been teaching. The parents aren't really interested in the course book I'm going to use. Their interest is in getting their child to pass an exam or in getting their child to feel more comfortable in a particular class. So, when you're selling your course, when you're selling yourself, you must include these 8 hacks as part of your course offer. Number 1, give. Number 2, give. Number 3, give. Number 4, give. We give and give and give and give. We give so much that the parents think we are wonderful. The first thing we promise to give our students' parents is regular feedback on our students. Okay, we do this probably weekly. I do it after every lesson. After every lesson, I drop a very quick note in the Google Docs I use that I share with the parents, saying something about the student's behaviour, something about the standard of the homework the student did, the standard of the work the student did in the class. Now, it's very important not to be negative here. All parents love their children, and I honestly believe that positive reinforcement is much more powerful than negative reinforcement. We need to be quick to praise what our students do well and slow to punish anything they might not do so well. So when I'm giving feedback, I always make a point of providing 3 positive points of feedback, and then I give a further 2 points that the student needs to work on for improvement. The positive points are generally quite easy. The 2 positive points for improvement might be your child needs to concentrate a little bit harder, or your child needs to stop fidgeting quite so much in the class. Your child needs to improve their handwriting. So I'm pointing out a problem the child has, but I'm not making it negative. Okay? No parent likes to hear negative feedback on their children. Number 2, we also promise to give monthly report cards. Now, I know some teachers might think this is a bit too much, but quite honestly, it's not. And it works wonders. Remember, the more you give, the more you can charge. When I give monthly report cards, I use a program called Teachers Report Assistant. It's very, very good. It takes a little bit of time to set up, but once you have set it up, you can write reports of 100, 150 words for your students in less than a minute. And the comments are very, very pertinent. So promising to give monthly report cards seems to the parents perhaps like a lot of work, but to you it's actually very little work. And I'll be doing another video on how to use Teachers Report Assistant later on. Number 3, promise the parents that you will be giving monthly and weekly SMART targets. SMART targets are extremely important and very, very, very useful. For those of you who haven't used SMART targets before, SMART targets are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic and time-bound. Now, I teach English and ESL, and when I ask a student or a parent, you know, what do you think your child's target should be, the parent or student might say, oh, I need to learn more vocabulary. Well, really, that's quite useless. What do you mean by need to learn more vocabulary? How many words do you plan to use? What words do you plan to use? So I then turn that into a SMART target where I'll tell the student or the parent, okay, I want you to learn 5 adjectives or 5 adverbs or 5 new powerful words, 5 new verbs perhaps. So that's specific. And I want you to learn those words within 1 week. It's measurable because we know that when the student has learnt those 5 words, task succeeded, well done. It's attainable. Most students are able to learn 5 words in a week. Because it's attainable and measurable, it's very realistic. And when we say learn these words within a week, we've given them a time boundary. So always tell the parents you will be giving their children SMART targets, both monthly and weekly. And make sure the monthly and weekly SMART targets are tied into each other. Okay? The weekly target might be learn 5 adjectives. The monthly target might be to write a paragraph using 7 or 8 of the adjectives they've learnt over the month. Number 4, give your students meaningful feedback. I remember when I was at high school, the teacher would give me back my science book, maths book, English book, history book, with an A, B, C, D at the bottom of the page and nothing else. Quite honestly, that didn't mean anything to me. Quite honestly, I didn't get many A's either. Just to give a student an A or B or C grade isn't good enough. Not if you're going to be charging top rate. When you give the student the C grade, you've got to make sure the student knows why they got the C grade and what they need to do to go from C to C+. Okay? They must understand what it is they did that caused them to get the grade you give them, and they also need to know what it is they need to do next to improve. Now, this can either be given verbally, this can be verbal feedback, or it can be given in the form of part of your report, part of your regular feedback. I tend to give it as written work, so I can prove that I have given meaningful feedback for all of my students' work. Yes, it takes a little bit of time, but this is time invested in your professionalism. It's time invested in you as a teacher who stands head and shoulders above other teachers who are charging, I don't know, $10, $15 an hour. Okay? We're charging extra, we need to be doing extra to deserve that.